Hello everyone, and welcome to another... No, it's not just Rogue Legacy. It'd be fun if it was just Rogue Legacy. But no, welcome to another Let's Bitch About series. Well, yeah, that. So anyway, in this episode, gamer common sense. For example, let's go back a bit. You saw a game, you're like, oh, well, this looks cool. I'm just gonna go ignore every NPC without talking to them. Don't pay any attention to them. Oh, then you realize, oh, I have to talk to an NPC. Now, which button do I press? When it clearly indicates up. So you give them money. You enter the place. Right. Now then, you run past everything. You get into the dungeon, and then you're like, oh, how do I get through here? Without realizing that, oh, I should look at my controls. And thus you look at your controls. Now see, if you were new to gaming, you might make that mistake. However, if you've played games before, you obviously shouldn't make that mistake. You should obviously look at the controls before you even start doing a game. This applies to both regular gamers and YouTubers, well, Let's Players, and people that make video game videos and such. Because I've seen people make this mistake way too often. It's like, well, I better just run into the game and die on the first level because I wasn't paying attention to what my controls did. Now I'm probably going to get myself killed. But then again, I am a professional at Rogue Legacy. You probably already know that. Then why do you have a character at level 507? Because I have a character at level 507. Don't you notice the controls? Yeah, you should probably look at them before you start the game. That's one thing. And that you don't make simple mistakes, like dying on the first part. I'm sure I'm probably going to die. I mean, but it's obviously going to die. But oh well. I mean, after all, it is choose your helpless for. But yeah. See, the problem with most gamers, on YouTube anyway, it's like they play like so many games, and yet they make simple mistakes like that. I mean, how hard is it to press tab, go down here to controls, and look at the controls, and if they're not up to your standards, change the controls. That way, you can play it however you want to play it, and not just, oh, I don't know what I'm doing, I'm playing this blind. We get that you're playing blind, but at least have some gamer common sense. Anyway, moving on. And now then, MMORPGs.
Keep the enemies back. I don't want to be interrupted. All right, good as new.
They already actually
This is far from over.
one of the most simple concepts to get behind. Of course, with lag, it's a bit harder, but still. concept is simple. You basically push the keys. Like, you push 1, then you push 2. See, it's simple like that. Also, you move around. You can jump with a space bar. You move with WASD, of course mine's C because keyboard and such. Doesn't work right, but anyway. Of course I shouldn't have tried this because of my lag, but still. It'll serve for the purpose of this video. So you're pressing keys, you're killing things. You get the point. It's not that hard to do. Hell, you can do this with one hand, practically. Of course, Guild 2 is one of those games where it sort of wants you to move around and dodge stuff. But still, you can do this with one hand. I mean, you walk over here, push button, then you push another button, and oh look, you did a combo flip backwards. Like, ooh, you're evading. Like, hey, look, you killed something. Sure, you're going to die, but you killed something. And now you're down. And hey look, there's keys to try to survive. Gamer common sense says you should probably push them and not just sit there and wait for the game to do something. And oh god, well that was a mistake on my part. Oh well, I'm dead. Now then, there's a button here. It says return to waypoint. And of course I don't have the waypoint. So that's silly. But anyway, you return to a waypoint. It costs you a bit of money. But you can respawn. And not just lie there waiting for someone. You can be slightly effective by respawning and heading back. And not waiting for someone to just wander across your body. But anyway. See, that wasn't so hard now, was it? I mean, gamer common sense dictates that you use the WASD keys. Minus the fact that mine's broken, but still. WASD. The keys of movement for most games. I mean, sure, you can use the arrow keys. For what it's worth. But still. And then you get skills. And then, most people would read their skills. And figure out what they do. What they're good against. What conditions they apply. Something like that. I mean, that's a smart thing to do. Example, we're fighting these guys. It can be effective by using area effect skills on them. And dodging. I said dodging. And healing. Healing is a good option. You should always remember to heal. And blindfolds. And use more area effect on grips. And also lag. Also dodging. Dodging helps a bit. But yeah, now let's see if I can get out of this one. And it doesn't help trying to do this video with lag. But the basic premises is how to do the controls. How to use gamer common sense. Like, if you just started this game, you should always look over the controls, look over your skills, try to do things right, and try not to die like I have so many times at the moment. I mean, yeah, this isn't going good for the whole purpose of making myself look good while giving this speech, but still. Yeah. Gamer common sense. Now then, more gamer common sense. Now then, most people would go, hey, new game, let's start. But if you're a gamer and you haven't played this, the first thing you should do is check over your options. Make sure they're what you want them to be. Like, I'm sure that actually it's not really that good to do such while doing a video, though. Because people usually constantly bitch about such, like, hey, start the game already. Came over to watch the game, not you go through options. But yeah, the best thing to do before starting the video then is to go over controls. Make sure they're what you want them to be. Make sure you can work with them. Stuff like that. I mean, seriously. This is where I left off at that one point, so yeah. It sort of spoils that one video, but I'm sure you've already seen it by now. But anyway, this here's an FPS. FPS is technically nowadays, though not as well like this anyway. More of a tactical sense with the whole Call of Duties and stuff like that. But anyway, an example of this would be run and dodge. Circle straight, circle straight, circle straight, circle straight. Circle straight, circle straight. And yes, it's not nice to shoot Santa. If you haven't watched the vid, and you're watching this, sure, this is a bit spoilerish. But yeah. Also remember the serpentine. Go left, go right, go left, go right. It helps. A lot. Also shooting around corners helps. And blowing yourself up and getting humped in the face by Santa doesn't help, though.
Groovy.
I don't even know where I'm at. Oh. I started the level. Lost. So anyway, the purpose of such is to explain that, yeah, with gamer common sense, you should expect that you're going to be shot at. You should try not to be shot at by using whatever methods necessary.
Oh, it's not nice to shoot Santa.
Ow. Also, don't shoot the rocket at point blank range. That hurts a lot. Also, you have a med kit. If you have a med kit, you should probably use it when you get low on health so you don't die.
Oh, it's not nice to shoot Santa.
Oh,
It's not nice to shoot Santa.
I think he's trying to kick me. Stop it.
Oh, my face!
And yes, we blew up Santa. Wonderful. But yeah, an FPS. You should try not to get shot by dodging, knowing your controls, using health kits, med kits, whatever that can keep you alive. See, that's not that hard to grasp, is it? I mean, you get what you have to do. You should be able to do it. However, people still make the mistake of running in blindly without thinking or using gamer common sense. And thus they die on the first level, which is something stupid. Now then, I know I've made mistakes in this series with the whole running into trip lines and such. But then again, there's a difference between gamer common sense and, hey look, there's BS trip mines right in front of you now. And you are still moving before they appeared, so yeah. But still, gamer common sense. And now then, for the final video. Well, technically I should probably add a video that actually has like puzzles or such. But anyway, a game that's like free roaming sand. Well, this isn't sandbox. Minecraft sandbox-ish. I like how I'm going to talk about Minecraft in Saints Row the 4th. Way to go, me. But anyway, in a game like Saints Row 4, where it's free roaming and you can go do whatever you want. Now that there was a bit, it also distracts a bit from how to think about doing things with gamer common sense. I mean, you can be distracted by amusement, you can be distracted by going and doing this quest, going and doing that quest. Going all over the place to do a quest. I mean, that made sense. They're quest. Well, not quest. Instances. Flashpoints. Whatever you want to call them, they're things to do. And it can be a bit hard to focus on one thing at a time. But still, gamer common sense dictates that you should be able to figure out the best pattern to handle things. Like, you should probably not complete the whole game. Well, technically, in a game like this, you can complete the whole game, and then go back for the side stuff. But in most games in that case, there's this one little rule called, if you finish the main game, they're sometimes not able to go back and do the side stuff. So you should probably do some of the side stuff before you finish the main game. And for Let's Play's sake, sometimes it can be a bit tedious, so you can at least skip scenes or cut to parts where it seems appropriate if it takes too long for the video's sake. But still, you should probably do the stuff, unless the people constantly complain about you doing the stuff. And then when you don't do the stuff, the people will probably still complain. But my point of such is that it is rather a good idea to do the side stuff before doing the main stuff. Why? Because if you do the main stuff, just right off the bat, sure, you unlock more stuff and all that, but you're not getting the benefits from the side stuff, and you can probably end up with not being able to do the side stuff after you complete the main stuff. I know I just confused everyone. This also sort of applies to MMORPGs and RPGs in general, because, well, if you complete the game and you can't go back and do the side stuff, yeah. And some of the side stuff does really pay off in most games. But anyway, in a game like this, free roaming, right? Now then, it doesn't really take too much skill to be able to drive, but it does take some skill. For example,
You know you're in over
people
your
on a
head.
hostage. Now the game will come.
This is for
You have
America!
to moan that much, but still, for gamer common sense purposes, I mean, there's not very much here. You just basically drive. I mean, once you figure out how to drive,
You know
just
you're in over
basically
your
try
head!
not to run into things.
Take the car, not me.
Of course, you can
You're
probably
about to be
panic
a grease
and
spot!
like, oh god, they're after me. What do I do? What do I do? And then you end up getting yourself stuck, and the hostages get out,
This is for
or you run into
America!
something, and problems arise, and all that. You see, that can
You're
happen.
about to be a grease
Game of
spot!
Constant says it will reply while driving like this. Just as long as you know how the
You're gonna
controls
hurt!
and what you're doing.
Stay on the damn road, alright? Don't you want to live through this?
You're going to jail for a long time. I'm authorized to use lethal force.
Shit.
Well, guess that's over with.
But yeah. Trying to think of what else is
Dialog?
I think we might go into the set.
I'd kill you for my country.
Just let's finish up this hostage thing.
Stay on the damn road, alright?
I will
And
not let my country down.
After this, here,
Bye.
just stick this out. Take it all. I want to go home.
Yep. Fun times.
Looks like we're in the shit.
Hello everyone, and we're back again. This time with sandbox types. Note that this here is a very old version of Starbound. Don't ask me how to get such. And don't expect me to just give you such, but anyway. There's a very old version of Starbound. I basically kept it because, well, it had almost all my work in it. Also, we have stuff. Lots of stuff. Do I remember? Did I keep actually? I guess I kept this stuff. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Anyway. So here's the. It's pretty much where I left it. Well, mostly where I left it. Anyway. Okay. So anyway, Starbound. There we go. This here's one of my old places, as you can see. Yeah. But anyway, we're not here to talk about Starbound. We're here to talk about gamer common sense. So now then, a sandbox game is actually a bit hard to actually detail. Yeah, let's get away from hell. Okay, this will do for hell. So yeah, a sandbox game is a bit hard to detail for game common sense. Now Starbound, I should make my own video about this, but anyway, there was no option to change your controls. Yeah. So I had to manually alter my keyboard's controls so that my numpad keys would let me be able to basically move to the left. Because my D key, it can still somewhat move to the left, but it is but well, let me show you. It stops at times. It's not good anymore, let's just say that. Which is sad and all that. I need to stop pressing the crafting button. I'm so used to using the C key as basically my key to craft. So used to using the C key as my key to be able to move to the left. Also, there's a sword from a mod. Fun times. Fun times. Yes, we can fly in a bubble. But still, as a sandbox game, now that I keep getting myself distracted, gamer common sense, basically, once you get down the movement, and how to craft, and how to do a lot of things, it's a bit harder to use gamer common sense, because you have to adapt to how to craft, what makes what, how to build a basic shelter, how to survive. Now that's something that you can't just carry over from like an MMORPG, exactly. I mean, movement, attacking, sure you can carry that over. That's easy right now. But carrying over how to survive, build, craft, and all that, that is not easy. That is a bit complicated, to say the least. A bit complicated. So gamer common sense in sandbox games doesn't really work that well, actually. But still, gamer common sense dictates you should be able to move and attack, and hopefully be able to stay alive that way. I mean, gamer common sense dictates that if you get hit, you're going to take damage, so you should try not to get hit. You should try to dodge. You should try to attack before they attack. Simple things like that. One would only think that's what you would do. But yeah. Gamer common sense. The only real cause for really needing gamer common sense is in games where you first start out and you make the mistake of not checking over your controls or not figuring out what button to do. Oh, I forgot one major important part. Is if the game tells you something directly on the screen, like bold letters, and then 5 seconds after it tells you that, you ask, how do I do such? There's a problem. Gamer common sense also dictates that you pay attention to what the game is telling you. Sure, you can skip some quest dialogue and such, but still, pay attention to what the game tells you. It will help you along the way. Some of it's just random bullshit, but still. Gamer common frickin' sense. It's not that hard. Not that hard to understand. Puzzle games. Puzzle games. They're ones with gamer common sense. Technically requires a bit of actual common sense. Because some puzzles are blatantly obvious that all you have to do is think about it with common sense. Figure it out. However, we don't have any actual puzzle games at the moment to use for gamer common sense. But still, the point being is a lot of gamers, a lot of YouTubers, a lot of people who make video game videos and such do not seem to grasp the concept of gamer common sense. I mean, it's quite simple. If you've played games, you should know what you're doing. You should not run in blindly and make the mistake of not checking over your controls, not figuring out what you're doing, not paying attention to what the game tells you, how to do things. You should do all of that, and then you can actually do the game properly. Well, somewhat. Some people will probably still screw up and fail like even I do a lot, but still. The purpose of this video was to bitch about gamer common sense, and I think I've done it decently enough. So anyway, I'll leave you with that. Hope you all enjoyed, thank you all, and have a nice day.